Welcome to the Fitness Industry Success Show. Ideas, inspiration, and interviews to take your fitness business to the next level. With over 23 years of fitness industry experience and the founder of LEADLION, an innovative fitness marketing agency, here's your host, Nick Parker.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Fitness Industry Success Show. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I've got an amazing guest for you. His name is Jonnie Novello, and he is the co-founder of a really cool gym concept called Smart Gym in Arizona. What's interesting about Jonnie, he's also a fitness franchise consultant where he comes in and helps gyms that need help with sales, operations, and just growing their business and getting things dialed in. And he's been very successful doing that. And one thing that's interesting about Jonnie that you'll find out here in a minute is he's gone from homeless to health club hero in a matter of years and is now one of the premier names in the industry doing some really cool stuff. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thanks for being here, brother.
No problem, Nick. I know we've known each other for a while, so I'm happy to be a part of your show and getting to see you face to face for once.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. So listen, before we dive into your story and talk about, growing gyms, growing your health club, operations and sales and some really interesting stuff that you're going to say here today. I want to play a game. You down for playing a game real quick?
I love games.
Let's do it. 2 truths and 1 lie. If you're a subscriber to the show, you know how this works. What we're going to do is, Jonnie, you're going to come up with 3 quote unquote facts about yourself. 2 of them are going to be true. 1's going to be a lie, and I have to guess which one's the lie. Here we go.
That I am 6'1", that I have taken a club that was making $100,000 a month to $1 million in a month, and that I've been doing this for 20 years.
Okay. If I had to guess, I'm going to say that you've been doing this for 20 years is probably the lie. You could be 6'1". I know how strong you are with sales and ops, so I believe you could get that club to $1 million. So I'm going to say it's the 20-year part. Is that right?
Nope. It's being 6'1". I'm only 5'8".
Okay, got it. So 20 years. You don't look even old enough to have been doing this for 20 years.
I'm 37.
Okay, cool. Right on. Awesome. That's great. So real quick, tell me about that club.
So it's kind of weird, the mixture of how I got involved with Smart Gym. It was probably about 12, 13 years ago. I was running a bunch of Gold's gyms down the East Coast, from New Hampshire all the way down to Connecticut. And there was something called the Alliance Group 2 from Gold Ships Corporate. We would go in for our franchise and teach corporate how to do sales and help them out too as well. This person, Ryan Hayes, reached out to me from another, like a trainer that I helped train for a while. And he runs like the largest personal training company in the United States. He does very well, but they also opened up this gym, the concept called Smart Gym, making fitness kind of smart, not wasting their money on, making a nice locker room and all this stuff, making it so that you can get your workout in an hour and getting all the top of the line equipment, giving from small group training to personal training to highest technology of equipment into one gym. Kind of liked it a little bit, went down, kind of got involved, and we kind of worked out where I come down and just check it out for a year and work with them, see how it is. It went pretty well for a couple of years. I got another way up in the East Coast, another thing, changing a franchise from Gold's Gym to a concept called Fit Lab. I was really good with the owner too as well. Went and did that with him, opened up a CrossFit gym there too as well. And then I always stayed in connection with Ryan, and kind of the franchise was going the other way, and they wanted to focus more on personal training because that's where they were professionals in. I came back down, and we had a bunch of partners at one point, and just kind of put it down to me and Ryan. We took care of this one location, and it was only doing about $20,000 in revenue, and now we've done $70,000 to $80,000 in revenue with a 10,000 square foot gym, with keeping labor down low, negotiating rents, and kind of kind of going on with the personal training in the gym aspects and nutrition and kind of doing the next level of fitness kind of.
Yeah, that's really incredible. What a great story. Back up just a little bit for me, because we're going to dive into the sales subject here in a second. But back up for me and talk to me about, you said you were homeless. You told me this off the air at one point young in your life. And then that's how you kind of broke into the fitness industry, and now you're killing it. Talk to me about that.
So when I was about 16 and a half, I came from a rough home, and I was in high school by the time too, as well off of it. And my parents couldn't afford having me there. So I lived in my car, my Jetta, and the winters in the East Coast are really cold. And I was sleeping in the gym. That's how I actually got involved with the gym business. And the manager actually helped me get my first apartment and turned me on to being a trainer, because I was in really good shape and let me training people while I was getting my cert. So technically, I don't know where I would be if I did not meet that manager and he helped me out, and that's how I got started in the gym business. I just loved working out. I was always an athlete in high school too, and kind of took me to the next level. And it's, like I said, like 20 years, I think it's like 19 and a half years. I'm still doing it, and I love it to this day.
Yep, absolutely. So how did you get so good at sales? I know a lot of people in this industry, and I can tell you this, there are very few people that are as strong as you are in the sales side of things. How did you get so good at sales?
Well, Nick, you always say nice things, Nick. You make me blush a little bit, but one thing is hard work. Everybody wants to know the key of, like, they tell me, like, how can I be successful? How can I do this? And I don't look at myself as being super successful. I look at myself, I'm always learning. And I look at myself as just a hard worker. I've always been able to go into any place, and I said, maybe I don't have the skill sets as them, but I'll tell you one thing, I'll outwork them. And then within 2 months, I will have more skill sets. And following up, the Minuteman manager was something that was a big part of, my managing skills, and just following up is the number one thing. And with sales, it is the number one thing. Once you have a lead, somebody gets to you, you don't just, or a referral, and 60% of your members come from referrals, Right. So if you get that, you just don't get one referral and you're like, all right, well, I'm just not going to call that person, and I'll send them a text. I'll literally call them, I'll send them a text, and then I'll follow up. I'm like I said, I'm the owner, and I love still doing assessments, still doing phone calls for it. Still, I believe I was on the phone with you when I was at the front desk and I booked a session, and she actually ended up buying a 3-time-a-week package too as well. Right. And she was a member with us for 2 years, but it's just the hard work and following up with this people. I feel like this generation, and I don't know if other owners, I feel like I know a good amount of them, they're having this issue. They don't want to work hard. They want the golden parachute,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I started
I agree.
I started off being a, membership director, making a $150 salary, per week, but making, $2,000 to $3,000 a week off commissions and bonuses,
Right. Mm-hmm. That's
and
incredible.
I was a bartender too as well. So I got that talking situation from that. It made me get out of my shell.
Yeah. And the people skills definitely came from that as well, for sure. So what are some of let's talk sales, because, for a lot of you that watch the show, maybe don't know, we're a lead gen agency, and we work with a lot of gyms that will generate lots of leads. And one of the biggest pain points is that their front desk are doubling as their salespeople, or they just don't have really good sales training in club, or they're not big enough to have like a big corporate structure to have sales training. And so the sales is always lacking. And so what are some of the biggest issues or mistakes that you find with health club owners and gym owners on the sales side?
So one thing I just want to say, so I referred you, Nick, to 80, 100 people, and they always say that you're one of the best things. One of my other reasons I just want to shout out to you, Nick, I know we've known each other for years, is why I was successful is a lot because of you, so
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's the truth too as well. You're a good man, and you've always helped me in every way too as well off of it. So, and I should also give a shout out to my business partner that actually introduced us to as well. But it was kind of funny. I was in Canada and helping out a franchise there, opening up a club. And I had these managers that were compensated really, really well. And when I was talking to the owner, I was like, you should make it more commission and bonus structure savvy, so people are wanting to make those phone calls.
Right.
So I got them set up on a CRM. I think I had them set up on InTouch, and I introduced them to you, and you pumped out crazy leads for them. And they were getting leads for about a month after I even got there, and it was about a couple hundred,
Mhm.
And first day of training with them, with the manager and the staff, I go, okay, so tell me how you were outreaching. Oh, I sent them an email. I was like, okay. After that, did you call them? Did you send a text message?
Mhm.
I go, they're like, no, we emailed them. And I go, one time? Honestly, I told them, I want you, email has to be, so you have a lead. I always say it's a 7-day thing. You get a lead, you have 7 days to get them in your door. Once you get them in the door, you only have 4 days to get them upgraded on a small group training package, on a personal training stuff too, because it's a need analysis, So we want to give them everything they need. But it's like when somebody tries to buy something and they like really want to get something, and more they think about it, they'll talk themselves out of it, and they'll think of the financial strengths, not why they want it.
Right.
So if I was sitting on a lead that you sent them a month ago, and then I'm reaching out to them now, it's going to be, it's usually about a 30 to 20% chance of actually getting that person in the door. So, and communication is the biggest thing. Do you think you can get a thing done by a text or an email or a phone call? You get to know the person. You get to ask them, hey, Miss Jones, how long have you been thinking about this? How was your day today? How you have kids. It's awesome. You've been trying to lose 30 pounds for the last 5 years. I really want to help you on that too. You don't talk about personal training. You don't talk about membership prices. You just talk about meeting them, showing around the club, and finding out what's the best thing to help them out.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely.
there to serve them, to help them out. Once you get them involved with it, then you sit them around, you have that connection. I used to say to, like, when I used to run big sales groups of people, I used to say a tour's like a date,
Yeah.
When you first meet somebody, you first got to, if they don't like you right off the bat, guess what? You ain't going to the movies,
Yep.
It's their dinner. Connect with them. Ask them how their day is. Ask them what they are, how they are, what they do that day, where they work. And that's when you can get you can see what type of job they have, financially what they are. So you're not going to oversell someone, because I don't believe in overselling it somebody, because if you oversell somebody, they're going to go delinquent. Then you're going to be chasing them all the time.
Yep.
Find something that's in between they can afford. Then you go, and then everything works out. You go on the tour, you go on the movies, you get to show them the equipment, the blowing the mind stuff, everything.
Yeah,
then,
that's so good.
Yeah. Then you get them back to the desk, you talk about it. You already know, if you're a good salesperson, what you're going to do for them. And then everybody, when they want to come to a gym, they've been thinking about this for the last 6-7 months, for them, just walking through the door, it's a win for them. So the biggest thing you always hear people say is, I think I want to go home and think about this, right? So you put little seeds like first time incentive, open house, things why today you need to join. And then mostly on top of that, to me, a membership, getting a tour it's the easiest thing, is then talking about little seeds like personal training. You put that in 3-hour personal training, I love, shout out to InBodies. That has made my revenue go up around $10,000 having that scan too as well.
That's a good.
It's a great thing.
Yep. Let's back up a little bit, because you've touched on so many good key golden nuggets right here. The first thing that you brought up that was really important is the amount of touch points. And from a marketing standpoint, moving from sales to marketing, it used to be between 10 to 12, and now it's 21, 22 touches. And so that's why we have automated that text message that goes out within the first few minutes, and you're getting those over and over again in different series. But one of the things that we find, and you just nailed it on the head, is that most lead follow-up is where the ball's being dropped, and they're not touching that lead enough to get them through the door within the first 7 days. They're just calling once or just texting once, and then that's it, and saying it's not going to work. So the second thing that you touched on was really important, and that is you're trying to serve that person and find out what's important to them, what is driving them to, want to come in, what's motivating them, what's the why behind why they're thinking about joining a gym at that time. And you're peeling that onion and pulling it back to get a look inside the heart right there in the mind to figure out what's motivating them and what's the emotional driver and the pain point that they're struggling with. Not talking about prices, not talking about the gym, and you're tying that all back to the membership sale itself and the solution that's going to meet their problem, right, that they're trying to solve.
Yeah, because people don't know what to ask you. So the first thing that everyone asks you is, what's the price, right?
Right.
So you just say, don't worry about the price. Let's see what we can do to help you, you know? And I have a new sales guy right now that I'm training to as well off of it. And I tell people, you can't just do this because of the money. You can make a lot of money doing this too as well, because you got to love this. You got to know how to help people, you know? Most people, sometimes they don't even know that I'm the owner. They think I'm a personal trainer sometimes.
Right.
And, you know, when they find out, they're like, wow. Because when you have people that are like, I'm the owner, that kind of stuff, that doesn't mean I'm here to serve my members, you know?
Right.
And that's when you have that mental ability. One, you can learn how to love your job. One, you're going to give 100%. And then two, you can show everybody else how to do it. And I'm one of those people, I love to train people, but I don't just train people on one part of it. I like to train all my knowledge. I want them to have it too as well. More successful they are, then I'm going to be successful as well.
Yeah. So as far as training your sales staff, how do you train your sales staff?
Yeah. Well, one thing I always do is that I have it broken up into all different pieces too as well. And I believe that the first 30 days that you have a new employee is the onboarding stage. If you're not going to give them all the keys to succeed, they're going to fail. This is how people rip through employees. And like I can just say, my trainers, I've had my trainers averaging from 4 to, I think my newest trainer is 2 years old that I've had them. And I have about 10 trainers with me. So it's one, I take care of them. Two, I teach them how to make it, and I treat them with respect. And but back to like the salespeople, training them. First, I do when they first come in, they do a week of just knowing what systems are, getting to know our members. Their first week is just learning to the members, having fun at their workplace, learning the financial company. If you use whoever you use, we use ABC to as well of them, getting to know that, because there is a little tedious things to know about it.
Right.
And then just giving them a good environment. Then what I'll do is then with that week, they'll get a little touches on tours. We'll bring them on when we do tours. We'll go one-on-one on just showing them how we do things, the words that we use. And then the second week is straight sales. They're going to know how to do every first 3 days is just tour training. What is the psychology of mindsets? How do you buy? Why do you buy this? How do you tie this into it? And I tell everybody the first couple of months, you're going to do it exactly the way I do it, because I know it works. Once you make it your own, you're going to be able to do it, and you can do it the same things, but hit on 3 free personal training sessions, open house, you know, different equipment, group training, you know, how long have you been thinking about this? Why has it took this long? You know, if you can wrap that all in, you're going to be able to get that sale. And you're going to, you're not doing anything unservicing the person, because you're going to help them live a healthy lifestyle. Yep. They're going to be able, and then if they buy personal training, they're going to change their life. How many people have wanted to lose 20 to 30 pounds?
For a long
Probably,
time.
we have made that happen all the time.
Yeah.
So we help them out with the nutrition, the workouts, small group training, anything they need. Then after the tours. Yeah, sorry, Nick.
Yeah, go ahead. What about role playing? Do you guys do a lot of role playing?
Role playing on everything. TIs, tours, how to take care of people with that are past due on their delinquencies. You know, today, like I have new sales guy. This week we've been doing role playing on tours. He tours me, I tour him. I have him tour our trainers. I have him tour our front desk people. You know, it's just getting it done. So it's more there. It becomes second nature to them. You know, repetition is the number one thing. More times they can do things, it's going to get better and better. So when people stutter their words when you do a tour is when they feel not really comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing better than practice. And I think one of the biggest things that is lacking in the industry right now is role playing. That used to be really huge. I mean, I've been in the industry off and on for 23 years. And back then, every single day was role play time. Like there was no question about it. You were going to role play. And now it's like you ask any person at the gym working there, like, do you role play? They're like, what is that? And they're like, you talking dirty? I mean, what are we talking about here? So it's a lost art of something that is critical to the success of creating a higher level of customer service and sales, right?
I feel like a lot of people always complain about my club's not producing, my club's not producing. It's always the operator that's doing it.
Yeah.
People want to take shortcuts. I feel like maybe, myself and people we're like dinosaurs now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those stuff work,
Yep.
It's kind of things like when I think about, like when I help people open up their clubs, I go there and I have like, all right, I'm going to meet with the owner. He's been doing this for, 15 years. All right. I have this other stuff, how we want to, to make leads, everything to his wall off of a corporates, everything. And I walk in there, I'm like, and I'll be like, oh, how many do you get passes out to people? No, they should pay for a day pass. I go, what? I'm like, how many phone calls do you make? Oh, we make 100. I'm like, realistically, do you make 100? And I look at him like, you're making like 5 phone calls a day,
Yeah. Guys, it looks like we've experienced some technical difficulties. If you want to learn more, just reach out to me and I can connect you with Jonnie. Remember, the more you know, the more you grow. So like, share, and subscribe to the next episode of the Fitness Industry Success Show. And we look forward to seeing you soon.